So I'm going to be doing a real-time strategy game analysis of this old game called Warcraft. This is Warcraft 1 by Blizzard, made over 25 years ago. I don't think it was the first RTS, but it was on the timeline. It was among the first. So there are a lot of things hadn't been learned yet, and I think it was a small developer team. So it might sound a little bit harsh, but obviously by modern standards, there's a lot of things missing. But exactly what those things are is kind of interesting. So I'm going to go through and play the first couple missions and point out what I notice. So I guess the first thing is that there's a lot of menus to actually get into the game, but let's start with the Orc campaign because it's first. Okay, so I like the scrolling text. That's not something you see much these days. And of course, the little CGI. Like, I feel like a lot of games in this period had unnecessary CGI. Um, so first of all, there's no tutorial or anything. You just move your mouse around and realize that you can probably click things based on. There's a bit of a context switch with the mouse. Also, if you forget what your objective was, there's kind of no way to. Also reminds you what game you're playing. There's no way to tell, but I think it's 6 farms and possibly a barracks. So if you click your units, you can see different commands that show up at the bottom, and the gold letter is the hotkey for that. But some things that are kind of interesting that are missing is if you left click, nothing happens unless you click on a unit. There's also, you'd expect to like drag select if you like left click and drag. That doesn't exist yet. That was I guess not made until Warcraft 2. And if you try to right click to move a unit, it actually centers the camera there. It doesn't actually move the unit. So you have to either left click over here and click here, or you have to memorize all these hotkeys. So let's get this guy started and start our next peon. So you can hold down shift and select multiple units. So that's nice. And I believe you can attack move, which is something I do a lot. And there's no edge scroll. You have to like go to the edge and left click, I guess. And you can also use the arrow keys. So that's a bit cumbersome. I played through this first level a little bit yesterday, but I haven't played this game that much. Notice that there's a road that's kind of like tempting you to go places. Let's see. If I want to build a farm. Also, it's kind of annoying that they go inside the building. So we definitely have enough here. And notice how he stops, but there's no outline over here. There's no outline of the building. It was just kind of the box. And when they build a building, they go inside of it, which is not something a lot of games do. Sometimes they stay outside of it. They're not very keen on attacking guys if they're more than a square away, so I lost someone. There's not a whole lot of incentive to explore on this level because it's just you have almost enough gold, I think, to just build everything you need. Assuming you don't build too many extra peons. So notice there's also roads here, and I wasn't sure at first what roads were actually for, but if you try to build if you try to build and you're not on a road, it won't let you. So roads have to connect everything. Which is, it's kind of interesting what things they thought were a good idea in this first game. And then kind of abandoned in later games. Notice that there is a minimap. It's actually updated pretty multiple times a second, which is pretty good. but also the map is pretty small. I'm doing attack move each time just because I'm always paranoid. I want them to engage anyone that they see. Like that guy. Which he did not do a great job of doing, but I guess I'll call this good. I also noticed that when the units were spaced apart, if you move them somewhere, they stay at that same spacing. Which kind of makes sense. But also led this guy to die, so it's a bit frustrating. That was the sound of the gold mine only started out with like 3,000. So, oops. That's why it was depleted so quickly. So I thought I had a third peon, but I guess I do not. So something else that this game lets you do that not a lot of games do is you can change the game speed. And I think it starts out at normal, which is just painfully slow. I guess if you're not used to strategy games, it's nice to slow it down a bit, but you can actually hit the plus button to actually change the speed. The only problem is you can't actually tell. There's no audio or visual indicator what's actually going on. So now it's on fastest, but there's no way for me to tell that besides just how fast these guys are chopping. Also, I think they're chopping with pickaxes, which is not super productive, you'd think. Might need to build a barracks. Also, I have plenty of gold, so. If you explore the rest of the map, I think there's one other gold mine and a few other random enemies, but I don't really have enough guys left over from those first couple encounters to do that right now. Also, you can build on top of the road, which I guess is nice, but it's a waste of money that you spend on the road. Also, when a guy is off screen, you can't hear it at all. So I think I also need to place a barracks, but hard to say for sure without remembering what your goal is. So, in terms of like things like pathfinding, like they work. You know, something that's interesting is I think they have a set path, and if they get blocked, they just chill for a second until that thing moves out of the way. And I don't know what that means if there's like two guys approach each other from opposite directions. I imagine they just get stuck, and then if they're stuck for more than a second, I imagine they would re-pathfind. But I'm not sure. I could actually try that. I know this isn't maybe the most productive use of your time, but I'm curious like how pathfinding was done in these early games. Also, if you interrupt him in the middle of chopping, then he kind of like loses everything all the progress that he made and has to kind of start over. So I'm reticent to do that. So I slowed the game speed down, obviously. And if you move them past each other, what happens? I hope they would get stuck and then one would walk around the other one. Okay. But interestingly, notice that only they actually like communicate, and one of them goes around, and they don't like. I guess so. If there's a deadlock, essentially, only one of them tries to walk around the other one. They don't both try to walk around the other one. So that's kind of cool. I mean, extremely basic, what you'd expect, but also cool that it works. So after this, we should be able to build that last barracks. Also, you can actually repair buildings to accelerate them, I think. I actually can't tell if it's going faster. Oh. No? Okay. I guess you can't in this game. Okay. Done? Yes? Maybe? Okay. Hey. More obligatory CGI. Okay, cool. So, I have to listen to just enough of this to actually figure out what the objective is. Okay, objective is just kill everything. Okay, that was the entire mission. More CGI. Very nice. Okay, so some of the observations is there's actually there's a pop cap even in these early games, and you can't see it up here, which is frustrating, but you can see it if you click on a farm. Also, these farms look really weird. What kind of farm is this? Looks like a musical instrument. Uh, so now there's a lumber mill, but the first thing I always try to do is get the economy going a bit. And well, obviously, here's the gold mine, which I need because I already built my peon. So I don't want to get too far, but here's a game queue of a road to follow. Okay, so if I stop, I always try to slow things down because, oh, okay, we should be attacked. Okay, while that's going on, I want to build another farm, which I have the resources for. This is kind of too close to the shroud, but that's fine. I don't know if why there's actually like a game speed that's this slow. I wonder if it's just for what I just did when there's a lot of stuff going on or any stuff going on. You want to slow down and make sure no one dies because everyone has such. It's kind of weirdly fast paced and slow paced. Like it's easy for someone to die really quickly if you're not paying attention and on the fastest speed. And I think some games handle this by if you're going at a fast speed and something happens, it just pauses. And then you can do stuff while it's paused. And I don't even know if this game has a pause button. I don't know where the key, like there's no keys or anything. It was just these are your only controls and that's that. Okay, so we can use some more lumber, I guess. We could always use more gold. Let's speed things up a bit again. Nope, can't do that. Yeah, so there's no drag select, and if you like try to click out here, it doesn't deselect anything. I guess you always have to have something selected. Let's work on lumber, I guess. So in the previous level, by building all these farms, it was kind of a suggestion, hey, you should make sure to build lots of farms and barracks. Oh, crap. I don't have all the hotkeys memorized yet. I guess attack is pretty easy. You can see the full repairs cost, which uses up almost the entire screen width. And even though I was on top of things, I still lost a guy. Which is frustrating. But I guess there's more where that came from. Give it one more peon. Maybe you can repair this thing first. gold mine has a lot more than the last one, and the previous level was like 3,000. Okay. You harvest stuff. We can only build one unit, which is a grunt. I also noticed that there's no build queue. If you want to build 3 grunts, you actually have to come back here and remember to do that. Remember to click on it. Okay. I don't know how many we need, but I think you can only select like 4 guys at a time. Okay, that one's pretty good. There's also a lumberyard I can build, which might be where you build these spearmen, because that makes sense, kind of. Oh, come on. It's mostly explored. Okay. Okay, I'm building a couple of roads out here, just in case I want to build another farm in that direction. Wood or lumber continues to be a thorn, a shortage. Okay, so that's just upgrades. But now I can build spearmen. Of course, there's no like hint of what any of these things do. You just kind of build it and see what happens. So I have a crap ton of gold. Crap. Okay. So now I slow things down. And just, you know, panic a little bit. I still haven't repaired that other building. I guess I can have you repair, just in case. I do not want to lose you as soon as you get built. So if you could run away, that'd be great. Guy's persistent. Okay, so this guy did run away, so that was good. Also, another... Yeah, you can't select more than 4 guys at a time. That's kind of amazingly... I think they maybe used the slow game speed to kind of compensate for the fact that the controls are horrible. So, that's fully repaired. Let's go ahead and... We're probably going to need more gold eventually. Okay. Also, they are coming from multiple directions, so that's unfortunate. Okay, let's rat our food cap, pop cap. I don't really understand how this game is playable, to be honest. Like, okay, 2 of these guys are figuring this out. But, like, you can't select more than 4 at a time. So you just kind of slow the game down, I guess, every time anything happens. Or you just play it on slow all the time. Okay, farmer's done. Still short on lumber. Guess we can build another grunt. Also, there's no groups if you hit control 1. Oh. Oh, there is multi-select. You just have to hold down control. Okay. That's... Okay, there's no like other hotkey combinations. You just hold down control and hope for the best. I guess that's okay. I like to have kind of 2, since I can only select 4 at a time anyway. I might as well have kind of 2 war parties. But this one's kind of weak. Hopefully that guy doesn't die on the way over. So I saw that there's a red spot on the minimap, which is a good hint. Okay, so I guess in a battle to the death, a grunt will just barely die to a swordsman. Okay. So I guess we're still wandering around the map, looking for guys to kill. I guess I can start with this road. gold mine with plenty of money. Gold. We're getting close to the pop cap by now. Okay. If you guys could help, that'd be great. Holy crap. These guys do not really go out of their way to help, do they? Unless they're actually being the one attacked. So they do give you, like, there's an auto chart queue when the grunt is ready, so that's how you know that there's more stuff to do. You can train another unit. I wonder if I can control a shift. Oh, control shift works, that's good. So there's no visual indicator that you're adding to a group. Oh crap, this is a lot of guys. Okay, these guys are all gonna get wasted. Okay, if you guys could walk all the way over to this guy, that'd be cool. That's our lumber mill's on fire. That's not great. At least he doesn't go inside the mill to repair it. That'd be kind of not that unexpected. So we're kind of doing good on lumber now. Let's switch that lumber guy over to gold. Almost out of. Okay. Let's build another barracks. This is taking too long. Not enough gold. Also, this is kind of almost out of gold also. Okay, so lumber mill is done. Nothing else to do. I like how it warns me that the humans are near when it's literally one tile away. If I hadn't noticed, there wouldn't really be anything. There wouldn't be that much you could do. Okay, I don't actually care if it's fully repaired. I just want all my gold. See, all these guys that were standing around can go harvest gold over there. Also, I think the spearmen and grunts make the same sounds, which is kind of sad. Okay, I think we have enough guys, kind of, to make something of a dent in these guys. Also, I like that you can click the mini-map and even like drag it around. It seems. What happens if I right-click? Okay, same thing. Okay. I'll have this one. Oh, my one peon. This guy. Bad. These peons are weak. And not very good at running away. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, let's see if I can just kill everyone over in this corner. There might be more off to the... I don't know if these guys like regenerate or what, but there might be more off to the right side. Yeah, if you guys could like be useful, that'd be great. Okay, I see another guy coming on the screen over here. Okay, I guess I better go deal with that. Maybe this guy can just explore a bit. He's gonna die anyway, so Godspeed, little grunt. That was exciting. Actually, if you guys could go over here and figure out where these guys are coming from. In much later games, there's like an explore button and it'll just explore the shroud for you. But that's a post 2000 enhancement, I think. Also, it's kind of annoying to do this because with your right hand is holding on to the mouse. Oh, crap. And with the left hand, you go from the kind of the WASD keys for all these like attack shortcuts and stuff like that, over to the arrow keys to actually navigate. And it's kind of a workout. Also, I love how this is such a trope in games that you can just one guy with a one archer can like cause a building to catch fire. Oh, this guy's done for you. Where's my gold happening? I guess I forgot about that. You can take a break. We don't need lumber right now. I also don't want to waste the handful of lumber that he already had. Yes, attack. Thank you. I don't know what you do if you lost all your peons and you didn't have enough gold. Like, you can't destroy buildings for money. I think you just have to start over. Okay, so hopefully we're getting close to the end here. One of the famous problems in RTS games is how do you just avoid building the same base every time? And hopefully I won't have to build these farms and barracks next level. Okay. Yay, apparently I win. Alright, so... Yes. So I'm going to call it good here. Because I think you've gotten a picture of what this game is like. Let's just... Yeah, so there's a new terrain here. And there's a few more buildings. But it still looks pretty the same. So that's it. And I'll play some Warcraft 2 next.